Hello everyone! Thank you for selecting this video and expressing interest in MotivationHow project. Let me explain ideas behind it. Before constructing this web resource and create video content, main motive was to significantly minimize your time to learn new information, or alternatively to structure, upgrade, tune your existing knowledge without skipping but in fact emphasizing important key concepts and make such learning the most pleasurable and engaging way. It's about specific types of information, including school, college subjects, and related science branches, effective, successful business and technological processes, and some helpful personal techniques. Let's talk in this video about the project, its main idea, as well as how this project is different from others. Main message of the project is a time saver in connection with learning. But why to talk about learning and how your time can be saved? To answer, let's remember that we mentioned main motive of the project at the very beginning. What does it mean, motive? It's intriguing, since everything you think about and express by your actions are driven by your motives. Study shows that when motive appears, it leads to appearance of an activity aimed to achieve such motive. How exactly does it work? Let's simplify it in an example. First step. Before any activity, man should start with personal subjective need or demand in human's own head. Let thirsty be the need for our example. Second step. Two things usually coming next. Conscious aim or target, still in human's head, the achievement of which leads to the satisfaction of the needs. Let's the desire to take care of a thirst be the aim for our example. Another thing on the second step to appear is a motive, as subject of the need, and it can be objectively observed by people around. Let's have bottle of water in our example as a motive. By the way, motive brings or forms meaning to the person. And another thing, in case aim target explicitly not provided for this situation, motive can stimulate aim creation. Third step, consequently, there is an activity coming next, aimed to achieve a motive. It can be objectively observed by people around as well. So, motive actually influencing on behavior by driving, urging towards certain activity. In our example, endeavor to obtain certain resource, bottle of water, is our activity. Let me summarize some mentioned facts about motives. When motive appears, it leads to appearance of an activity aimed to achieve such motive. Few motive functions are function of urge to do something and function of forming a meaning. Motive can also stimulate aim creation. An extra small comment. To understand invisible personal subjective needs, we may analyze visible objective motives. Related term motivation is important to be mentioned as well. Motivation is a psychological process controlling humans' behavior, and it's about complex of motives urging to action. What complex of motives do you think successful people may have? What may lead them to success? Remember, motive is a subject of the need. Just few examples of such motives are to find solution for the problem and experience related positive emotions, to find a job which you love the most, or just quickly find a job during crisis when there is a shortage of open positions, recognition of work achievements, help others sincerely or for social recognition, amassing wealth, attaining position of huge power, and many others. Let's switch our minds for a while for studying, learning. I'm talking about subjects in school, college, or specific business trainings. Does your personal learning can help to create needs or even might be a need itself for success leading motives which we just listed? Can your learning lead to activities for achieving mentioned motives faster and more effective? Regarding first question, we may have even an extreme situation. There is a chance that motive, subject of the need, is not presented to a person at all, neither visibly in the field of his perception, nor mentally in his mind, based on just pure lack of information up to date. There would be no oriented activity that meets the need in this case. If you don't know math, which studying numbers and how to calculate them, How can you think about wealth, which can be calculated and evaluated in terms of certain amount of money, for example? How do you know, is $10 bill in your pocket enough to be rich? To avoid such extreme situation, we need to know about things at least a little bit to use this knowledge later. So the answer is yes, learning definitely can create needs for motives. And some motives among them may lead to success. Regarding the second question, let's have two candidates for new engineering job position which was accidentally opened during crisis. First candidate has solid background knowledge of math and physics, among other subjects well learned in a college, while second candidate has lack of necessary knowledge and experience. And that is the only difference between them in terms of obtaining this job. Referral through the same person, salary expectation, etc. are the same. Who do you think has higher chances to get this job? Or in case both mentioned guys by some chance already work in the same department, who among them has higher chances to receive recognition of work achievements? Did you guess what the answer on the second question is? As you can see, learning is an essential and very important part of our life, which can bring motivation to our lives and lead us to success. And I'm not even talking about natural craving for new information while learning happening from time to time. Going ahead, do you remember facts about motives discussed a couple of minutes ago and aim creation among them? What just happened during our discussion? Examples of several motives helped us with aim creation, which is actually desire to learn with higher chances to be more successful. But is learning very easy and always pleasant process for us to be ready to spend significant time with it? I don't think most of the time it is. Human lazy nature, access to instant pleasure activities, distractive objects, and hundreds of other reasons could change your tough schedule in form of accidental forgetting about so important learning. Funny thing, right? We already should be motivated, having aim to start action, which is an actual learning, but that looks not enough. What's wrong with it then? Did we make a mistake with outcome anywhere? Have you ever heard about carrot and stick approach idiom? It's a story about a mule moving forward towards the carrot in front of its face because it wants the reward of food, carrot, while also moving away from a stick behind it to avoid a pain, thus doing its extra job, carrying the load. Let's think about mules' behavior from scientific perspective. We also try to pay our attention to mules' own passion to carry the load, if any. Psychologists already studied a lot about motivation, and they created several motivation classifications. Let's look to just one classification discussed within self-determination theory by Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, professors of psychology in University of Rochester. Probably you've heard about intrinsic or internal, inner motivation versus extrinsic or external, outer one. All motive examples which we discussed a couple minutes ago were about extrinsic motivation. Such motivation comes from influences outside of the individual. And common extrinsic motivations are rewards for following desired behavior, or in contrary, the threat of punishment in case of not following. Desired behavior in our case is to learn more, to have rewards in the future, like finding the best job, achievements, recognition, wealth, power, and so on. On the other hand, intrinsic motivation is driven by personal interest, where person enjoys task itself and autonomy without control, having fun or challenge involved. Such motivation exists within the individual rather than relying on external, separable consequent rewards or threat of punishment. Moreover, evidence was found for engaging in playful and curiosity-driven behavior in the absence of reward. Wow! Self-driven passion and excitement. And bonus, it was found that intrinsic motivation can last long and be self-sustaining, as well as it results in high-quality learning and creativity. Simple example of intrinsic motivation can be enjoying singing or dancing for yourself, just because you have fun time. So it looks like we found stronger motivation for learning, intrinsic motives, on the top of our potential achievements rewards, extrinsic motives. Therefore, our task now transforms. We need to think how to turn learning itself to be more pleasurable and engaging process, to rediscover natural self-driven human addiction to learn. Why, if it sounds so tempting, it's not implemented everywhere? Why I can hear lots of stories how it's boring to study at school? Probably main reasons are because efforts to nurture, raise intrinsic motivation can be slow to affect behavior and can require special and lengthy preparation. Kids, students, workers are unique individuals, so a variety of approaches may be needed to motivate them individually. Whatever motivation could work for a particular person might not work for another. So there is no single average pill working fine for everyone, but personally prepared pills per individual may be required, even from common known ingredients. So it's a huge time consumer at the beginning. But once a person is motivated, we may have a long-lasting time saver and enjoyable learning experience. Theories and discussions are good, but what about practical use? Where to find such intrinsic motivation for learning in one well-known place? That's how an idea of MotivationHow project, storage of inner motivational videos, can help. What is the idea of this project? As you may remember from the very beginning of this video, main motive was to significantly minimize your time to learn new information, or maybe structure, update, tune existing knowledge by emphasizing important key concepts and making such learning the most pleasurable and engaging way. We already finished discussion how it is important to learn. Let's discover craving for learning along with key concepts of this project. To discover what you can learn with possibility to have all information in one single storage, web portal MotivationHow. Focusing on well-structured, categorized subjects, science branches, business trainings, techniques, technological processes. That can help to find interesting topic faster because it builds your entry points to start learning. Having compressed key concepts to understand what you can mainly learn per each subject. Sometimes just little information what the topic is about at the very beginning can give you an idea how interesting it may be. Showing strongest possible intrinsic motives shared with you and listed per subject. You can pick some or all of them to boost yours, your kids' or your students' motivation to start learning with self-driving passion. Possibility to improve information stored on MotivationHow portal over the time by receiving comments from community, hopefully including peer reviews from professionals as well. How the idea of the project is different from any existing ones? First of all, it's about the format. There is no large books or enormous stories, which sometimes could lead you to lose yourself somewhere already on the second page. Information to be presented on our portal to consist of relatively short videos on average no longer than 15 minutes, like the one you're watching right now. It's your additional time saver, since visual presentation can help to compress information even better without losing logical reasoning chain and can inspire your imagination for better understanding of ideas. Next thing, this web resource is not a storage of trainings or books to learn subject in details. Although it may contain links to feed your self-driving curiosity, I mean links to articles, magazines, videos, books or encyclopedias. Please note, this resource contains just jump-starting point to build your curiosity and self-driving passion in form of motivation videos. I would say this resource is a motivational interlayer between you and knowledge you can gain, or you can better structure in your mind. Next thing, motivation per each subject might be given in few videos, separated for target groups. Whatever can motivate college student to learn math definitely would not work as a motivation for your 10-year-old little one. So at least 2 videos in this case will be needed. We will try to cover several target groups where possible. Please carefully watch separate video regarding kids' brain development and recommended ages to introduce computer and videos. Next thing, topics will be stored using certain classification principles and numbering, which brings easy navigation and searching. Have you ever seen any single centralized storage which takes care of motivation in one place about large amount of subjects, topics, trainings? Have you seen subject in a simple structure, hierarchical and categorized order to find needed one fast enough? Once information found, how fast it can make you being motivated? We're talking about spending time with just couple of 15 minutes videos to solve these tasks. Now it's time to find all motivation for learning in one place. No need to look any further. You will discover that you can significantly save your time using this resource by faster searching, jumping to the interesting subject, understand what is it about, being motivated by a picked subject using short videos. Isn't it amazing? Let's summarize what we have been talking about. We started with the main idea to minimize your time to learn by being self-motivated. Then we discuss motivation, which comes from your needs and leads to an activity aimed to achieve motives. We separated extrinsic from intrinsic motivation and realized that intrinsic one may work stronger for your craving to learn because it's based on your internal pleasure, fun, novelty, challenge, curiosity, and so on, which you can enjoy a lot. Then we discuss key concepts of this project and web resource, which is about format, short videos related to a brief description of categorized subjects and related motivation. Then we touched how this project differs from other resources. It's about centralized, compressed video storage as an interlayer between you and knowledge you can gain once motivated. Hope you enjoy current video, the idea, the very first one within this project. Do you want to know how this idea appeared? Then see you in the next video, starting point. You can also skip it and jump to the very next video, Why Beneficial, to clarify how it's beneficial to have Learning Motivation Project compact video library for you. Bye!